Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the parallel sessions of IGSC 2021 in the room 6. I am Pramujo Widiatmoko, chair of this session, together with Dr. Bintan Titisari, and we'll lead this session. Okay. Before we go to the presentation, I will gently remind that the presentation will take 7 to 10 minutes for each presenter. And after that, we will have a question and answer sessions. Okay, if there is a question for the audience, you can raise your hand or type it in the chat rooms. Okay. In the first session, we will have 3 presenters here, Mr. Febrianto Mulyawan, and then after that, Ms. Rizky Riandini Ardiana, and Ms. Siti Saada. Okay, for first presenter, I will welcome Mr. Febrianto Mulyawan to share the presentation slide. Please. Mr. Febrianto, your time is yours.
Okay. Allow me to share my screen first.
Okay.
These are already seen, my screen? Already shown? Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's actually my conference paper about the impact of startup business ecosystem and life cycle on startup creation process, case study of Indonesian software technology startup. So for this paper, the introduction begin with the stable ecosystem and understand life cycle of startup are need to maintain and construct resilience for startup in the every stage. And also in particular, this would have an effect on the need of the startup of software process, disparate cycle, startup phase to the help startup to define acceptable infrastructure specification in the particular circumstances. So my purpose in this paper is actually the aim to investigate the software technology startup, which can be adapted by a new venture or a new startup with to understand the characteristic or startup creation in every stage and also in the ecosystem. So for the literature review, I become from the startup theory. There is several theory from the previous researchers. The first is Errol Kamel. The startup product creation is motivated by the following: minimize time to completion, enhancing innovation or features, optimizing efficiency, minimizing product expense, and minimizing the cost of development. And the second from Bruyat and Julian, the startup is the early stage of entrepreneurship, enterprise in which founders are already looking for a business model that is replicable and scalable. And from the Steve Blank, startup defined as a temporary organization looking for a scalable and replicable business model. And the last thing is from the Eric Price. The startup is a new organization aiming at creation of new product or service in condition of extremely uncertainty. The second literature review I gained from the startup creation process. There is several researches about the startup ecosystem. The first things about entrepreneurship, the second things about the technology, then education, finance, human capital, market, demography, and the last is supporting factors. And the last is the startup creation process is in the life cycle stage. So this actually startup have 3 stages in the life cycle. The first is the bootstrapping stage, the second is the seed stage, and the last thing is the creation stage. There is from the previous literature review. So for this paper, I just conduct the case study using the qualitative method to understand the comparative between startup one by another. Then I use the interview and also I use to cross-check document. So my subsidious question for this paper is actually come from the several elements. First is the entrepreneurship. In the entrepreneurship, I want to understand how the individual characteristic of founding team members. The second is technology. how does technology affect the development of the product? The third is human resource. What skill of each member in the development of the product? The fourth thing is in the finance. How does the startup fund the capital? And the education, what education level of each member of in the startup, and supporting factors, what supporting factors of development startup, and then demography, what the characteristic or persona the startup market, and the last thing is market adaptation, what channel the startup to reach their product. So my collection data is from two startup. There is actually I got interview from the vice president and also business director. The startup has different employee size and also business domain and also years of funding and also product type and also what kind of incubator or accelerator they have. And my finding is that there is several difference finding from the element of the every life cycle stage in the startup. So I summarize my result. First is the startup life cycle stage, and the second is the startup ecosystem. What can I can combine between those startup creation process? First, in the bootstrapping stage. In the bootstrapping stage, the startup needs to become more entrepreneurship and also technology, and also have to need supporting factors. And in the seed stage, the startup needs human capital and also how their background of each member. And also in the creation, they need the financial funding because they want to grow. And also they must to understand the more detail about the demography, and also they must understand about the market. So in my funding, there is implication for the first is the implication for the practice, the experience founder of the startup, influence in the startup ecosystem for every stage. And the second, the founders of new startup business must find appropriate business incubator or accelerator to assist develop product rapidly and link it to the potential investor. And last, our study discussed that a role entrepreneurship and support investor have important role in startup ecosystem. And for the second, for the implication of the theoretical, the first is research should carry out in the evaluation and human capital in role supplying necessary business technology and expertise to the process. And the second is research should investigate how potential member of every startup may learn new skill to require to improve their product and more efficiently and also effectively. So in my research, there is future research to conduct startup interview and also observation. And the last thing is to identify, explore, and assess more component in a large group of innovation technologies business in developing a new startup or venture, which can come from a university student of, because in this paper, we only compare to a startup from different perspectives. The first is from the university spin-off. The second is from the accelerator program. I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Febrianto, for the interesting presentations. Okay, is there any questions from the audience, please? You can raise your hand. Okay, Dr. Bintan Titisari, please.
Thank you very much for the time. Hi, Febrianto. It's very interesting. Hi, it's very interesting. It's very interesting research. I know because it was quite a short time, but can you explain a little bit further? Because I think I found it quite interesting in that slide about the finding. I know. I think the one, this one.
Oh, so the result.
No, the one before the finding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that from both companies, apparently, like they do have quite different answer or like result in each stage.
Yeah.
So and then in the conclusion, I think you said like I think their background actually one of the most important factor that influence this result.
Yes.
I think you said that, right? Yeah. So do you think, is it because they are from different sector? Because if I'm not mistaken, one is from agriculture and the other one from, yeah. So do you think, I mean, can you maybe explain why first, like why you choose like from different sector, and then the result is actually different. You know, in my understanding, if it's a different sector, then of course it's different. But maybe you can elaborate more in this area.
Oh yeah.
Do you understand my question?
Yeah. Okay, Doctor. Okay, Dr. Bintan. Actually, I want to conduct. There is maybe this is different sector, I know, but I found that there is several they want to achieve their goals in the get more market competition, and they joining in the first is in the my first company, they joining in the incubator program. And the second company, they joining in the accelerator program. So I want to conduct, and I also want to understand what is the difference between in the incubator and also in the accelerator. So in my paper and in my research, they can be distinguished between what the differences between I joining in my if I have startup, if I have a startup, how can be different if I join in the incubator or also in the accelerator?
I see. But do you think with their different like area, this one is agriculture and what is the other one? I forgot.
Service, both service.
Service. Do you think it's actually causing like another variable to look forward into? Do you get me? Like, I mean, if you want to just compare, like if the incubate, like the different incubator, and maybe would it be maybe more like apple to apple if you are looking in the same like area? That's yeah.
Okay, it's maybe for my future research later, because my previous research is I don't have any contact from the same same domain.
Yeah, okay, but I mean it's very interesting, and I assume this is still in the early stage, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's only pilot study.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, obviously like the model is working, but I think it's just be careful for when you're choosing the respondent, because it's gonna like give like another question, like why is different. But yeah, thank you for the answer. Thank you, Pak Pramujo.
Thank you, Dr. Bintan.
Much. Okay. Is there any other questions? Okay, this is interesting, and I think it can increase the potency of another startup. If you can show them and then the path, and so you can the trick and tips and tricks to do the startup. Okay, thank you very much.
Especially like now the startup is very popular, so I think this kind of research will be very important for the community, I guess.
Yeah, that is my focus actually, Dr. Bintan, about the startup resilience. So I conduct early stage how to understand the pilot study about the comparing between startup in the university student of or incubator or accelerator, something like that.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can I stop here, Pak?
Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, please, we will move to the next presenter, Ms. Rizky Riandini Ardiana. She will talk about the effectiveness of animated learning video for preschoolers, a literature review for developing the instrument of measure. So please, Ms. Rizky Riandini, time is yours.
Okay, thank you. First, let me share the screen. Is it already shown? I'm sorry.
Okay, clear.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Rizky Riandini Ardiana from Master in Design Program, Bandung Institute of Technology. First, thank you for the chance for joining i-GSC. Today, I would like to share about my paper titled The Effectiveness of Animated Learning Video for Preschooler, a literature review for developing the instrument of measure. Okay. This paper will talk about how to measure the effectiveness of animated digital media, especially for preschooler, through the lens of some theories. Three main aspects were discussed: appearance, content, and vibes, with a total of 19 measurement items. And then why it's important to evaluate this animated media? First, because there's an increase in internet usage, just like in Indonesia, based on APGII data in 2020, the internet user increased until 73% of population. And it's not only the adults, but also the children. And the second is the existence of digital learning trend. It's shown by this graphic that almost 39% usage of media is for homework, and also many parents let their preschool to have a screen time 1 until 2 hours per day. And then, of course, last, we know the golden age, the first 5 years of human, is crucial and effective for cognitive, social, emotion, and motor development. So we have to put attention into it. Those are the theories that I use as the basic for the research. We as adults need to understand how children think and respond and absorb information in our AD learning. The success of a child learning process is depends on how the information pass the reticular activating system, and then the amygdala filter, and also the hormone dopamine existence. And the second theory, sense of learning, a media needs to meet the educational aspect if it is to be referred as a learning medium. It consists of 4 points: active engaged learning, meaningful learning, social interactive learning, and support learning goals. And the last theory is from Lieberman. It's about how to measure the playfulness in children activity by looking the cycle, social, cognitive spontaneity, and also the sense of humor and joy in the class. Okay, from those theories, the result is an instrument for measuring the effectiveness of animation learning video. And we can see in the table here, there are consists of 3 aspects: appearance, content, and vibes, with totally 19 items. Yeah, in appearance aspect, the first achievement indicators used is the presence of elements that unique and surprise. It's measured by the presence of audio stimuli and visual stimuli. The audio needs to be placed in the intro to attract the children attention, just like maybe we know ping pong or Cocomelon, that's so memorable, like slogan or songs, or also the character's voice. And then the visual stimuli can be measured by the character display personality that have deep characters, and then spatial and also realistic. So not that's it. And then the second appearance aspect is color selection. In general, children will like certain colors based on their age and gender. The application of color harmonization will more acceptable to the eye, but still pay attention to harmonization, and then to the clearness, and then the color psychology, whether the color brings the good or the positive impacts into the emotion, or the bad impacts. And then active engage in aspect appearance can be measured by the item minds on and immerse. Minds on fulfilled if the video or if the medium triggered children to respond, just like give some comments or questioning something or answering the question in the media. And then the EMORs can be shown by whether the children give focus and attention and follow and give some spontaneous physically response. Okay, that's the first aspect. And then the second aspect is content. Content consists of three learning goals: spatial new information and meaningful learning. Okay, for learning goals, it has to have specific goals in each video, and then clear storyboard, and then the story has to bring some journey, and there is a climax, and give problems and solution, ask the children to find a solution together. That's how the media state that fulfill the learning goals. And then the special information can be the details and wide information, just like fun fact, and then give some history about an object or a location, or expand the explanation. Why we have to put here in the content of the media? Because it will make the children feel like he knows something that nobody else knows. So he will share it to his parents or his friends. And then the last is meaningful learning, when the children experience the learning process and follow actively. The content in the video also directs the simulation process by relating to daily life. Here is the last content, is 5 aspects, confirmed by the two points: playful and social interactive. Playful indicators include measuring items such as activity, excitement, and humor. While fun activity means that children can determine, explore, and express her or his feeling. And then the excitement and humor can be measured by looking the expression and the gesture. While social interaction consists of 2 items, which is cooperation and collaboration. And cooperation, like giving sign or can share his idea and understanding and interpreting other ideas. And then these things is important because the story with sample of cooperation, cooperative and collaborative, will be an example for children to implement it to social interaction in daily life. So in conclusion, the study was conducted to develop an instrument for measuring the effectiveness of learning video for preschooler that motivated by a shift trend from conventional to digital learning. The process includes the collection and comparison elements in animation development of preschool age children. So from this research, we can conclude that there are 3 aspects to measure and consist of 19, 3 aspects and 19 items to measure whether the media, especially the video animation, is good enough or not to be the learning media for preschooler. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for good presentations. Yeah, I think this is important because nowadays we interact a lot with the animated learning system, right? I wonder for the all aspect, how you will measure the aspect in scoring, 1 to 10 or another methods.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Pramujo. Actually, this is still the literature review, and I will use this measurement, these tools to measure the real video, maybe next semester. And for the scale, I will scale it just like maybe not 1 until 10, but 1 until 5 scale, something like that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there any question, please? You can raise your hands and. Okay, wait. Okay, there is one. Dr. Bintan, please.
I mean, if there's no question, then I will ask. But if there's any, but just cut me. Hi, Rizky, is very interesting presentation. I think I just want to ask your opinion. I think one of the factor you were talking about age and gender, and it's actually goes into the appearance, right? So it's talk about color and everything. But well, I mean, I know like the latest research talking about not actually put it in the box that like girls should be pink or boys should be blue. I'm just wondering, where your research about like opinion about that when you measuring that particular aspect?
Okay. Thank you for the question, Mr. Bintan. First, maybe it's not of course it's just a girl should like the purple or the pink and something like that. But I said that it's in generally maybe it's always that the feeling of the children maybe like maybe the girl like the soft colors, and then the lower age range, just like the children, like the maybe more cheerful, and then the light color, and then the attractive color. Besides, if we compare with the adults, which the adults, well, maybe some adults also like the attractive colors, but in generally, it depends on the psychology, maybe the calm I mean older well, we are getting older, maybe we are more calm and more wise, and it impacts the colors, our colors quick, something like that, maybe.
Okay.
But from the previous research that I searched, that I read, that there are specific maybe differences. Yeah.
Sorry, there are what? Like the last sentence?
Oh, yeah, difference and
all right.
impact from age and gender.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I totally agree with the differences. I mean, there should be a difference between like the color preference. I'm just wondering, like, if your research will be open to the result where actually they're not actually fit in the box that like based on the theory, you know.
Okay.
I think that should be considered in the way that probably the boys like purple, and that should be fine, you know, that kind of things. But yeah, thank you for the answer.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bintan. Maybe for the next for the further research, I will compare how the children react to the video. So it will bring more value if there is any not same result.
Okay, interesting. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck to find the children to sit down and see the video.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pramujo.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ben. Thank you for the presentation. It's very interesting and elaborate many things in this research. I hope it can be successful. near future. Thank you very much. Due to the time, we have to finish the presentation and move to the next presenter. Thank you, Mrs. Divyandini. Okay, for the next presenter. Okay, the next presenter is Miss Siti Saada. She will talk about photographic element of celebrity endorsement on Instagram toward audience online engagement, literature review. Please, Miss Saada, Miss Siti Saada, time is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Pramujo. Let me share screen first. Has it been seen?
Not yet. Okay, now it's clear.
Okay. Okay, I will start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Siti Saada. I'm from Master in Design Program, Faculty of Art and Design, Bandung Institute of Technology. This is my paper. The title is Photographic Elements of Celebrity Endorsement Content on Instagram Toward Audience Online Engagement Literature Review. The overview of the paper is the emergence of social media such as Instagram provides platform for Instagram celebrities, known as Celebgram, to monetize their presence through commercial endorsement deals. Many studies on social media and its commercial nature have been explored, yet we do not have comprehensive understanding on the roles of visuals in media ecosystem. This paper review related concept in digital photography, social media endorsement, online engagement to lay theoretical foundation for exploring the relationship between photographic elements on Instagram, celebrities' contents, and audience engagement throughout them. Indonesia entered the world's top 5 internet access via mobile phones and entered into a country with the third highest internet growth in the world, which is 25 million new internet accessors in a year. And then social media is becoming a new life for internet user. And one of most widely used social media today is Instagram. Instagram is the third most popular social media in the world after TikTok and Facebook in 2020. And then Indonesia has the fourth largest numbers of Instagram users in the world, reaching 82 million users, and dominates by millennials with an age range of 18 till 34 years. And majority of Instagram user are women in Indonesia. And next, Instagram gave birth to Instagram celebrities or celebgrams, and there are individual Instagram user who has its own uniqueness, which will eventually start other Instagram user to become followers, and then become one of the influential people. Celebgrams often targeted by business owners as one of the digital marketing strategies. And then photo becomes on content post and post Telegram for various purposes, one of which is for endorsement interest. Endorsement is a form of cooperation between the two parties, the mutually beneficial. And the online engagement of the audience can be represented by likes and comments on each Telegram post. This is the theory in this paper: Instagram, celebrity roles and content endorsement, audience online engagement, and photography. This is through Telegram, where select for analyze and compare each of the photographic elements used in the endorsement content of the two Telegram. This is Wihandayani and Hamidah Rahmayanti. And then categorization and endorsement content. this is a categorization then in selecting endorsement. Number one is content is only a type of photo image. Next, a marking tag online shop. Mention name of online shop in the caption. One object in each frame on the photos. Then content in the form of exhibition endorsed product, no others. And the last, single type photos in one upload, not across cell phone. And this is example of DOI endorsement content that 1 July 2021 with 34 likes and 160 comments. And then this one example of Hamidah Rahmayanti endorsement content date 9 May 2021 with 19,000 likes and 77 comments. And then audience about audience online engagement. This the example of audience online engagement in DOI personal content endorsement. This is a figure show the positive audience online engagement in one of the endorsement content. The audience provide comments about the personal and endorsed product, like how beautiful is it, and etc. And then this is a figure positive audience online engagement to Hamidah endorsement content and Hamidah endorsement content. The audience comment on the flattery of Hamidah Rahmayanti's personal and endorsed products, like how beautiful she is, and like the shirt at all. Next, the photography that I use in this paper is according to Yung Abdi. There's non-technical rules of photography include number one, composition, and next, photo format, background, distance capture, the angle of taking, the visual dimension, tone, and the substance of point of interest and object. This is a example for photo analyze in the content endorsement of Dwi. This composition use a triangle center. Next, the format is portrait with Zeiss herself, and then background, foreground, midground, and background. Shooting distance is middle shot. Photographer's point of view is normal. Next, visual dimension is religious, fashion, harmony, or tone. And tone is nothing. Next, and last one, substance or framing is a woman who's sitting in prayer among the trees. And next in this one, photos of Hamidah Rahmayanti, the composition center, and then format portrait, same format with Dwi, but with her size herself. Next, background is midground and background. Shooting distance is middle shot, and photographer's point of view is normal. And then visual dimension is beauty, fashionable, feminine, and tone is nothing. And substance of framing is a fashionable woman standing in the middle of the camera. Conclusion of this paper is celebrity on Instagram have their own unique one of them when bringing endorsed products displayed through photography on Instagram. And from the two celebrity on Instagram, both can be seen that there is significant difference in the type of photographic element displayed in the endorsement content. The type of photography elements select will allegedly affect the audience online engagement on Instagram. Sorry for any imperfection in my paper and my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you for the nice presentations. Yeah, this is about engagement, yeah, to the endorsement. Yeah, it's interesting. Do you measure the number of engaged audience in the one picture and the two pictures? I mean, how many audience ask about the clothes and something like that?
I'm sorry, Mr. Pramujo. This connection it's so bad in here. Can you repeat the yes?
Yeah, I wonder if you also measure the number of the audience engaged with the endorsement. I mean, how many people or how many audience mention the photos? Do you measure it?
Okay. Yes. Okay, thank you for the question. Yes, the count of audience online engagement in this photo is not it's not unlimited. Unlimited people can comment on this post, but I think the measurement is how I choose the right Telegram to be my study case on my research in next year. And then about the audience engagement, maybe I have the categorization about audience who should be respondents to about next my research next time like that, like hijabers or here she is a woman and age for 17 till 34 and live in Indonesia and use the Instagram like scroll or post photo in story or feeds on Instagram like that.
Okay, thank you. Please, if there is another question, you can raise your hand. Okay, this is interesting because as previously mentioned by Dr. Bintan, that you already compared the relatively same model, right? All hijaber, and they maybe also have same audience, and then you can compare. Yeah, nice, I think.
Any other like comment? One question in the chat.
Okay. Question in the chat. Okay. There is one question in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ada, for the very good presentation. My question is, what do you think are the considerations for business people to choose celeb endorsement? Thank you. That is the question. Can you answer it?
Okay. Thank you for the questions. The consideration of business owner is choosing Telegram certainly disperse, adapt to their needs and the product to be delivered. Then the type of Telegram so various anyway. They cannot be generalized. There are those focus on hijab makeup, just makeup or food products at all. But in general, what business owners choose is Telegrams that have a lot of followers and already have a good track record of creating audience online engagement in Instagram. In every endorsement, like by many people, or have chemistry, special chemistry with audience at all. And then the selection of Telegram followers also according is choice or needs of each business owner, such as paying attention to the budget when choosing a celebrity, because there's a Telegram that has more 1 million followers more extensive that Telegram then maybe only has 100,000 of followers. Maybe I think like that, Miss Paul.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other comment, Dr. Bintan, or question?
Can I? Is there any time for me just to ask? Like
we have
maybe
3 minutes.
Okay. Okay. I think it's very interesting discussion, Siti, a very interesting topic as well. I'm just wondering because you were like looking at like how many likes and how many comments in both posting, right? And then you were capture like one, I think it's kind of like 4 or 5 comments, and then I think so. I mean, it just raised a question in my head, like, were you checking if they are actually a real account? About about the fake account. That's first. I mean, and the second, would it be because you were like just capture like those particular comment. I mean, and then you were saying that some of them commenting about her beauty, and some of them commenting about the product. Maybe like, did you actually count like how many, for example, from 1,000 comments, I don't know how much the comments, I don't know, 100 comments, and how many actually percent that actually talking about the beauty, and how many percent that actually talking about the product? I think that's like my 2 questions about the fake account and also about like the percentage between, so it's more like accountable, the conclusion, I mean.
Okay. Thank you very much for the questions, Miss Bintan. Number 1 is about fake account of the this case of my paper. This is about account that I choose to analyze. And for your information, I just choose in the this is my literature review for my next research, and the real research I choose 3 celebgram for my for to be study case, because my research is quantitative method. And then I choose celebgram. It's really it's elaborate before I choose, and I choose, and then I elaborate 1 by 1 celebgram, but with the similarity, and there's no not to be fake account. And then
no, I mean, it's not the celebgram that a fake account. I believe they are real. No, I mean the comment, because you were looking at the comments as well, right? Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Like the one who say like pelangsing peninggi badan, that kind of thing. That should be appear in a lot of celebgram. I mean, will you consider that to reduce the fake account and everything when you look at the comments?
That's my research is not focused to them, because that's I just see the most content endorsement that have like and comments, or online audience engagement the most on the content every month in 1 year. One celebgram I chose one picture on 1 month, the most online engagement, and then I pick 12 for 1 celebgram, and then I analyze 1 by 1, and that's not big deal for the fake account that comment on the post of endorsement content. But I think that's just theoretical, or just explain about how the celebrity Instagram portrays like this, like that. I think.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bintan.
Okay, thank you very much. This is very interesting presentation. Yeah, especially for me, whose background is chemical engineering. I have no knowledge about that. But okay, it's very enlightening. Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. Unfortunately, we run out of time for the sessions. Okay, thank you very much for the engagement of this presentation, and then we will move to the next session, which will be led by Dr. Bintan. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pramujo, for the opportunity. Hello, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Titisari. I'm from the Faculty of Art and Design. So maybe some of you familiar with my face or not. Okay, so we will move to the second session where we have 4 presenters. I think there will be Mr. Muhammad. I think Mr. Muhammad already here.
Yeah, present.
Hi, good afternoon. Good morning, sorry, still morning. And I think we will have Anindya Christiana. Hi, I think I saw your face. Hi. Hi. And also there will be Miss Usda. Yeah. Okay, so we also have like one more Silva Zahra, like one presentation. Maybe because like she unfortunately she cannot be here with us, but I will just play the video first before we start the session with the because for this video there will be no Q&A, but if you have any comments you can give it to me and I will pass to the presenter. Okay, so for Mr. Ananda, yeah.
Hi, my name is Silva. I'm from Institute Teknologi Bandung. I will present you my thesis presentation, Gamification about Finance to Educate Emerging Adulthood. First, there is a phenomenon of technology and economy in today's digital era has become so rapid. The countries almost have no information boundaries. Technology and economy are 2 things that are in harmony in this day and age. Both of these things have become commonplace encounter this day. So, technological development caused the economy to grow rapidly so that the national boundaries are no longer detected. Thus, the competition to become financially prosperous is getting wider and tighter. And then, in emerging adulthood, for my respondents, which is defined in the popular press as an identity crisis. This time of crisis leaves recent college graduates depressed, anxious, and full of doubt. Life satisfaction is associated with income, social support from friends and family, and identity commitment. Income or financial aspect is important for emerging adulthood. So, the finance knowledge must be learned by emerging adulthood. And then in this digital era, activities cannot be separated from technology. So everyone use gadget to do daily activities such as entertainment and education. In these methodologies, I use quantitative survey, inform a self-administered questionnaire on 160 respondents to obtain data and knowledge, opinion, and characteristic of emerging adulthood. First, the financial literacy index in emerging adulthood was determined by scores from the self-administered questionnaire. The score is the number of the correct answer by the respondent. If the respondent answer all correctly, then the number of answer will be equal to the number of the question. This is the formula. First, respondent must answer all of the question from the basic questions and then advanced questions. And this is the total average of the score of respondent. We can see here that the financial literacy in emerging adulthood is slow because the total is 50, and then below 60 is in category low. And then for the gamification, in this variable 1, the questionnaire was conducted to determine the respondent's habit, frequently used media, and preferences for interactive media. We can see that the 51% emerging adulthood use smartphone, and then when they play games, they play only 30 minutes until 1 hour, and then all of the game, they love game that not so much spend time. And then we can see this, the variable 2, the questionnaire was conducted to determine respondents are asked to choose the aspect and elements they want to in the game. They just want the game that entertainment in break time, and then the story, and then they love role-playing game, and then the story, they prefer branch story structure with stories with multiple endings, and then they play games to get stress reliever. And then in variable 3, this questionnaire was conducted to determine respondents were asked to choose expectation, motivation, and what should be in the system game. They choose to be proud to complete the all mission and gameplay in game without taking time. And then in variable 4, they choose picture 3 that has RPG-like type visual, and then the story and the setting story, they choose fantasy. So in conclusion, overall, due to financial literacy index is low in emerging adulthood, and then the game, they choose RPG, and then recommended storyline is branching story. The selected story content is story that is balanced between seriousness and humor with characters that can be developed over time. In the duration of the game, the time spent is not much, maybe between range 30 minutes to 1 hour in one core loop game, and then the platform are used smartphone that designed in Android or iOS, and then the recommended levels in the game have challenges that are not too complicated but still challenging, such as puzzle. And then the reward system, they prefer the fun orientation category that included point like stars, like immediate feedback, and then avatar, and then storyline. And the recommended visual preference game has dialogue between character like RPG, and then the color is vibrant like fantasy themes vibrant. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, it's very unfortunate that she cannot join with us, then we can discuss. It's actually very interesting because of the financial, I think, literacy, one of kind of like a popular topic recently. I know like the Ministry of Finance tried to elevate that. So yeah, if you have any comment, you can put it in the chat and I can give it to the author if you have. Okay, so we will move on to the next presenter. We have Mr. Muhammad.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just want to remind that actually we assess your performance based on your presentation design and how you conduct your presentation, and also how informative is your presentation. And so at the end of the day, later after the third keynote speaker, and we will announce who's the winner. So just in case you weren't informed before, so I just repeat. Okay, Mr. Muhammad, the screen is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mrs. Moderator, Bu Dr. Bintan Titisari. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is R. Muhammad A. from the Islamic University Jakarta, with title Piano with Worship Symbols and Universe Creations in Economic COVID Era. In the first space introductions, there is a background that the piano is just a medium as an acoustics media. In reality, behind the form and physicality of the piano is a reflection of music life. The phenomenon of the piano has white and black keys, where these differentiations directly designs the tones, number structure, and the gap of the research piano as music has sequence notes with ratio and Haslam by economic system. In the theory, there is a piano and number theory with mastery of music shows a person's intelligence ability, where the music with economic theory as ownership of musical instruments shows economic status as well. In the formula Roy-Han constant theory, there is H equals to AH SLM and 472,319 with the philosophy of ontological, epistemological, and axiological and methodological music is Haslam. And the methodology, the study objects are the piano, numerology, Haslam techniques, methodology, qualitative reflexivity, where the reflexivity to holy books, and Haslam as a 6 digits, 472,319. In the 7 and Quran from holy books, Al-Hijr 15 ayat 87, there is words of we give you 7 repeat and Quran. There is 2 important words, 7 and Quran. We put 7 on the second column and Quran on the third column, where there are 114 surah with factorization to multiply by 3, multiply by 19. Then we have 72319 with accumulation of 22 with root of 4. So we have 6 digits, and we convert into words HASLM. And then we see the analysis in 1 octave in the piano. There are 12 tones, consists of 7 tones major with the black tones, white tones, C, D, F, G, A, B series in 1 octave, and 5 tones as black tones as the minor, this, fish, this, I, fish series. And in also we play piano with our hand, where I have hand painting by myself. On the right hand, we have the symbols of sin in Arabic alphabet, Lam and Mim, where on the left hand, we have numbers, not the words. 3, 1, 9. We have this painting can be connected to the piano itself. We see that the piano has the 1 octave. There are C, Cis, D, Dis, A, F, Fis, G, Gis, A, Is, B. We count 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 tones in 1 octave. We can see on the piano, there are white and black tones. And also we have information about the double gap interference, multiple 2/8 and 1 front. When we go play, the gap interference, the normal circular. But if we congregational prayers, we go Salat Jamaah, then we have two circular source, and then in the middle there are lay of circular. So we have three circulars. There is a 12 theory in this circular reflexivity of 12, where 1 is a group of 7 circles and 2 is the source of the circular. So we have 3 circular. And then in the analysis of 72, one front is 7 circles as 1 in 72, and 2 edges is 2 sources as 2 in 72. So 72 defined as interference or sounds of music in piano, 7 as white tones, and 2 as black tones and white tones itself. We can see on the pictures, on the next picture, the analysis of 319, 5 fingers on top of the 5 black tones, where 3 right tones and 2 left tones were split. 3 right tones pressed by 3 fingers, little 3 middle fingers, seen or as a number 3, and 2 left tones pressed by 2 fingers, 4 and thumb, L and M, or lam and mim as number 19. As LM or sin lam mim are root word of Islam, and 319 as in Holy Book Quran Surah Ali Imran Surah ayat 19 in Quran about Islam. There is the pictures of the piano and our right hand. We have 3 or sin in the right hand, and also thumb and fingers, the 2 fingers. So 913 equals to 5 fingers. But in the piano, there are 7 tones. So the additionals between 7 and 5 are 12 tones. And also we have the information, there are 2 different tones, black and white tones. So we have 7 and 2. We can calculate as a 9 and the 5 itself. And then we have the numbers of the piano 72 and 319, that similarity with our right hand. So we have 472319 is the same with the Quran Surah Al-Hijr Surah 15 ayat 87, that God give us 7 and Quran. So it means that music is Islam. Music has 1 octave. 1 octave equals to 12 tones. In the 12 tones, there are a chord of 472319, the same with the equations of Haslam. And the music has the formula of the Haslam. We can see in our handphone as a pianist is the same with the grand piano as the string. And also our shadows in the mirror, like Salat, or the concept of Salat is the same with our body, or the woman in front of the mirror as the 12 complex. We can see the 12 symbols on the left side as a design minimalist of the design minimalist of architect, and then the architect has the reflexivity of house as the 12 complex. And in the God line, before God creates universe, before God creates human, God has the concept of worship 12. And then after God have the concept of worship 12, like architect, then God create the universe. We can see the number 12 is the same with R47, with the mediation of 2 multiplied by 6, where 26 in the Quran Surah 11 ayah 114, there are 2 edges nun and 1 front 9. It means that the reflexivity of R12 as solid formula for the creations of human. And also is the same with the formula of Haslam 472-319. In the conclusion, music as a piano is Islam because of white and black tones. Piano complies with 472-319, Haslam and Islam. Worship 12 tones piano has reflexivity to interference of string sound in the body of grand piano. Piano shows the intelligence, ability, and economic status in the COVID area. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Muhammad. I think I learned a lot in the last 10 minutes about music and how it's related to Muslim or Islam. Okay, so I will give a chance to the audience. If you have any comments or questions, please raise your hand or you can just speak straight away. Dr. Pramujo, probably? Well, if not, that I want to ask you something. Like, is it a master thesis or a doctoral thesis, Pak?
This is my preliminary research over my doctoral and master degree.
For doctoral and master degree.
No, it is out of my doctor and master research.
Oh, sorry. Jadi untuk S2 atau S3, Pak? Ini. Sorry, excuse me. I think it's frozen. Hello.
Yeah,
yeah.
My research beyond outside of my doctoral degree and
I see. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just wondering because it's very thorough, like very neat and very detailed. So I'm just wondering if it's a master degree, then it's actually can be bring into a doctoral degree. I mean, looking at how you see each part of the calculation. That's my comment. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
But maybe out of interest because one of the conclusion in the beginning said music is Islam, and then maybe is there any reason why you chose piano in the first place? Because I mean, we can go with guitar or we can go with trombone or I don't know, any other musical instrument.
I think the representations of music is the difference between minor and major, but in piano we can see directly because there are the different colors on the tones, black and white. But in the grips of guitar, they are the same grips, so we have to calculate, we have to count whether this is minor or major, 1, 2, or 3 octave. But on the piano we can directly choose whether this is notes of C, notes of D, or notes of cis of this, because already there with the colors of piano and the separations. On the right side there are 3 black tones, and on the left side there are 2 black tones. It means the black tones is this, fish, this, and ice.
I see.
That's my comment.
Okay. Well, I think that makes sense as well. Okay. Is there any other question? Maybe comment from other participants? No? Oh, Pak Pramujo?
Okay, thank you. This is very interesting because, yeah, as mentioned by Dr. Bintan, why piano? Maybe because in Indonesia, maybe during the period of Wali Songo, they use gamelan and so on, and then maybe it's interesting to explore more about this. Thank you for a nice presentation. I like. Thank you. I think it's just comment, no question.
Oh, that's challenge, Pak, to go further with the gamelan and looking at if there's any connection as well. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Muhammad. I think we kind of like finished the time, and we will continue to the next presenter. And good luck with the research.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so next we have Anindya Christiana. Hi, Anindya. I think her research is about the power of Javanese women in Damar Kurung painting. Oh, it's going to be another interesting research, so I will give the floor or the screen to you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All pleasure is mine to see you, all of you today. My name is Anindya Christiana from the doctoral program of art and design, ITB. I would like to present my research about the power of Javanese mother in Damar Kurung painting. First, in introduction, traditional painting is a work of art that is regional in nature, followed by the tradition of a particular society. Traditional painting is not purely intended as an artist's self-expression, but also has a social function, communication, suggestion, ritual, and sometimes not mention the name of the artist. There are many examples of traditional Nusantara paintings, such as the Wayang Beber from Central Java, the Kamasan painting in Bali, the glass painting in Cirebon, and also the Damar Kurung painting from Gresik, East Java. This Sriwati Masmundari. Sriwati Masmundari is a woman from Gresik who spent her whole life developing, producing, and preserving Damar Kurung. Masmundari's distinctive feature of Damar Kurung lies in observing in the cultural development of the Gresik people, which was drawn spontaneously. Masmundari's Damar Kurung painting has a variety of objects and themes, one of which Masmundari often paints is women's dailies. Masmundari Damar Kurung painting is meant to recognize itself, especially as a Javanese society, as well as a Javanese woman, as her work entitled Bo Oma. This is the painting. This study aims to find out about the status, role, and power of Javanese mothers as expressed by Masmundari's Damar Kurung painting. At the same time, explain the consequences and the contradiction that occur in the power of mother in Javanese culture. In the literature review, concept of power in Javanese culture, Javanese society, we know it's hierarchical, organized, and it's often known to be undemocratic due to its feudal roots. One of the reasons is that the Javanese cultural tradition is an absolute, centralized, and non-egalitarian royal tradition. Javanese society has a very different view of power from Western society. The context of the Eastern concept of power lies in a power holder who must convince his or her subordinates or group that he or her has been spiritually and divinely elected. The power holder will form this legitimacy so that the application of power can earn absolute terms and demands absolute obedience from his or her subordinates or groups. This concept of power has been deeply rooted in the consciousness of the Javanese people. The manifestation of this concept of power in relation to gender relation is represented through the concept of contractist conditions that have been by God and spiritually, which implies the fulfillment of predestined obligation. The concept emphasizes the obligation to voluntarily accept all the consequences. Denying kodrat means disrupting order and harmony, which threatens the harmonization of inner and outer life. These cultural studies research focus on critical approach by focusing on a qualitative exploration of the expression of Damarkurung painting and its meaning is search for the meaning of maternal power in Javanese society. Damarkurung painting as one of the traditional works of art is a combination of aesthetics, a symbolic aspect, and a series of stories. Thus, bahasa rupa is the right method to dissemble as well as analyze pattern, structure, and visual type of masculine painting. Finally, result and discussion. First, the concept of power in the family. The culture is often known early as undemocratic because of its feudal roots. It would be difficult to accept the concept of gender equality. However, it does not mean that in Javanese culture there is absolutely no concept of gender equality between men and women. Masundari paints the mother figure as the center of the family and has an important role. Like in the painting, holding children, several children, even bringing several children on her head at once. Father is not in very contrast and is a smaller size than the mother. That appears without specific gesture or activities. According to this description, the father is the wise head of the household and is a strong protector for his wife and children. However, Damarkurung's painting explicitly shows that mother has a more important, strong, and dominant role. Javanese mother is the center of the family. Mother is a household manager who is in the control. Power is the ability to live or give life. The power of Javanese mother lies in fertility, prosperity, and order. From a powerful mother flows the energy of calm and prosperity to all family members so that there will be no chaos. Fertility and order are the simplest manifestation of power in Javanese culture. The character of Javanese woman is very synonymous with Javanese culture, like soft-spoken, patient, calm, avoid conflict, emphasizes harmony, holds values, is able to understand others, has high self-control, endurance to suffer, plays an economic role, and is loyal. Javanese mother can accept any difficult situation, even the most bitter. Best having suffering and good at interpreting it. The second result and discussion is the contradiction of mother power in culture. The ideology of familiarism, or in bahasa ibuisme, ideologi ibuisme, is an ideology that emphasizes the role of women around the household as mothers and wives. Ideology has been socialized and internalized in Javanese society for centuries through a complex historical process, so that this ideology is seen as a common sense and natural ideal. The phenomenon of the embodiment of this ideology states that the mothers in Japanese society play the main role as housewives who must give energy and attention to the interests of the family without expecting anything in return, respect or power. This ideology is institutionalized in everyday life, legitimizing the absence of the responsibility of men to raise children or care for the household, while still displaying the highest authority in the family. The contradiction simultaneously emphasizes the importance of mother in Japanese society. At the same time, place their status in a second class. This contradiction continues to maintain, produced, and repeated in the daily experience of Japanese society. Every woman who has become a mother is constantly required to tolerate this contradiction and value it is something so. From the visual expression of the Damar Kurung painting by Mas Mundari, it can be seen that Japanese women occupy an important position in the family and society. But on the other hand, women do not get the practice, opportunity, and power comparable to men. This contradiction should be an awareness for the community that the development of self-identity in gender relations is a result of learning, formal and informal environment. All must play an active role in developing values that support the development of positive and more equal female identity. Lastly, for Japanese people, contradictions are not seen as problematic, but become part of life, of life. Even the ability to accommodate contradiction or opposing consideration is understood as a sign of power in Japanese culture. An individual in a strong Japanese society should be able to synchronize and harmonize contradicting elements. That's all. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you can spend time new from my presentation. Thank you. Good morning.
Hey, thank you very much, Ms. Anindya. It's very interesting. But before we go to the Q&A, can you hear my voice clearly? Is it okay? Okay. Okay, so I think I will open the discussion session now. Is there any comment or question from the participant?
Yeah. Can I ask?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Can you elaborate about the methodology? What you say? Bahasa rupa. Thank you.
The bahasa rupa. Yeah. The methodology. Okay, I will show my presentation again. Okay, thank you for the question, Mr. Muhammad.
Yes.
This is the result of the analysis using bahasa rupa methods. In the bahasa rupa method include analyzing Istiwimba is object. Istiwimba is object in the painting, and second one is Tarawimba, how to draw. From this painting we can that there are three figures. The first is mother, father, and kids, and the other is environmental. Tarawimba is how to draw. How is Iwimba to draw? And then third, tata ungkapan. How decision isi wimba to draw. It is to studying important based on the size or based on the indoor or outdoor. And the last one, how to read all these elements. Si wimba, cara wimba, dan tata ungkapan. From bahasa rupa method, we can read all the element. This is painting by Mas Mundari, the entitled Mbok Omah. You can see that mother drawn in a larger size than other figure. That's why I use bahasa rupa, because this painting is tradition painting. So the right is bahasa rupa. I hope can answer your question, Mr. Muhammad.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question, Mr. Muhammad. I think I will give a chance to Rizky.
Thank you, Dr. Bintan. Thank you, Ms. Anindya. It's so interesting. If I'm not mistaken, maybe the Markurung already a long time ago, maybe exists since several years ago. Is there any changes or skills in the meaning of women's power, maybe today and in the past? Is there any differences between today and before? Thank you.
Yeah. When we talk about the object in the past, we don't forget about the context. This painting produced in about 1990 when baru government. So the context of this painting also related to the context of the background, historical context. Actually, the Markurung has several paintings, maybe more than 100. But Mas Mundari always painting several themes repeatedly. One of painting that Mas Mundari often paints Mbok Omah. I hope I answer your question, Ms. Rizky. Is it clear?
Okay, so it's this research is specifically take the Mbok Omah themes, right? Okay.
Sorry, can you?
Is it like that?
Sorry, can you repeat your question? Your voice is very low.
Okay, sorry. So it is specifically talk about the one themes that is Mbok Omah themes. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, about Mbok Omah, household or ibu rumah tangga.
Okay. Yeah, I think I mean, I think what the risky question also like was my question, but I think because you said like Mbok Omah actually appeared in quite a lot of paintings of Mas Mundari, I guess. So it can be real. It's not just only one painting.
Yep. Right.
Yeah. Okay. So it's very interesting. Is there any comment or question, or maybe Dr. Pramujo want to comment something?
I'm okay.
Pardon?
No comment.
Oh, no comment. Okay. Yeah, I think yeah, it's I assume it's still in early stage of your doctoral program, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I think maybe my question is only before we only have 1 minute, I guess. Like, are you gonna consider another painting throughout your doctoral programs only, or it's gonna be only painting from Mas Mundari?
Only Mas Mundari painting.
Okay.
But actually, there's tradition painting that similar with Damar Kurung, like Kamasan Bali. Unfortunately, the artist is passed away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, have a similar theme. Yeah, producing in same years with tradition approach. If in Bali, use bahasa rupain Kamasan, but in Sik is Java, we have Damar Kurung. Maybe the society Kamasan is more famous, more popular than Damar Kurung painting.
Okay. Well, thank you for the answer, and also the discussion is very interesting, but I think we ran out of time and we still have one last presenter. Thank you, Ms. Anindya, and good luck with the further research. Okay, so we have the last presenter, but not the least, Ms. Usda Nabila, and you are from Binus University?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and Usda will talk about BTS. So it's very popular team, and maybe without any, just I will give the screen straight away.
Okay, I will take the screen and let's share screen. Okay, I'm Usda Nabila Sabiriani, and I'm from Bina Nusantara University. And this is actually my personal research entitled The Influence of Brand Ambassadors and Brand Image on BTS Meal Purchasing Decision. And maybe I cannot full screen my presentation because I don't know, maybe my laptop can go with it.
It's okay.
So, okay. For the background, I look some news about BTS meal. There was a long queue at McDonald's Indonesia in July 2021 because McDonald's issued a new menu, BTS meal menu, in collaboration with the South Korean boy group BTS. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, several companies and businesses have experienced a decline in revenue, and many have given promotion to keep their products sold out, as has been done by some fast food restaurants. And here's the data for some restaurants that they get decrease for their income. And quoted from information from the Indonesia Stock Exchange, or IDX, the company's revenue in 2020 decreased by 20.82% compared to the previous year. One of them also includes McDonald's. In 2020, it was noted that McDonald's share fell by 2.5% of sales, and globally fell to 23.9%. And if you are not know about BTS, I will explain. BTS is Bangtan Boys, or BTS consists 7 members, namely Jin, Suga, J-Hope, RM, Jimin, Taehyung, and Jungkook, with the picture on the right presentation. BTS debuted on June 13, 2013, and for 8 years now, BTS is finally crowned as the #1 idol group in South Korea. The popularity of BTS causes boy group to be often used as brand ambassadors for several companies such as Puma, Dior, Fila, Hyundai Motor, Lotte Duty Free, Line, Samsung, and so on. And for the literature, I use a brand ambassador and brand image, and then purchasing decision. For the brand ambassador, I use from Wulandari et al. In 2019 is someone who can represent a product or company and can talk a lot about the product being represented so that it has a big impact on product sales. And then the second literature about a brand ambassador I use from Iksan et al. In 2014. Brand ambassador aim to influence or invite consumers to use the product. The use of brand ambassador usually uses well-known celebrities. There are three characteristics needed by brand ambassadors, namely attractiveness and trustworthiness, and then expertise. And then for the literature for brand image, I use Wijaya in 2013 is one of the important elements in the brand development process because it is not formed solely to purchase products, but it also related to how consumer as the target audience of communication interpret or decode the brand message and actualize it in their life and become part of building their self-concept and reality. And then for the last literature, I use purchase decision from Steri et al. In 2019 is the selection of two or more alternative purchase decision options. In other words, to make someone able to make a decision, there must be several choices. The buying decision process includes needing recognition, pre-purchase research, evaluation of alternative, and decision making. Purchasing decisions can also be interpreted as action from consumer to want to buy or not to the product from Sari 2017. From the various factors that influence consumer in purchasing a product or service, consumers always consider the quality, price, and product that are already the public known. And then for the method, I use 5 steps. For the first one, I collecting data from regarding BTS meal reporting on online news sites. And then the second one, I use questionnaire. I distribute spread 35 questions to Indonesian people age 19 to 35. And then the third stage, I use data classification, testing the validity of instrument in the reliability test using the Cronchback alpha technique. And then after that, the fourth part, I do instrument testing results, the testing the validity of the instrument in the reliability test using the Cronchback alpha techniques too. And then the last one, I did data analyzing using confirmatory factor analysis or CFA and the rotational method of Verimax factor analysis by using IBM SPSS statistic software. For the first method,
you only have 3 minutes left. Maybe you can speed it up.
Okay, for the collecting data, out of the 10 news stories obtained around the world, you only use 2 news stories that we reported by Indonesian online news site and news about BTS meal at McDonald's Indonesia. And then for the questionnaire, I use a research sample Indonesian people aged 16 to 35 years who are of K-pop or not fans and are aware of the existence of BTS meal. The frequency of purchase at McDonald's Indonesia, one is very rare, less than 5 times a month, and then 5 times in a month, and then 10 times a month, and then more than 10 times in a month. And from questionnaire, I use a research instrument, brand ambassador, and then purchasing decision, and then brand image. And for the data classification, for the first step, I use age classification from the age 19 to more than 26 years. And for the gender classification, I did two aspirations from a male and female. And then for education classification, classification is from high school to undergraduate, graduate school. And then for the result, analysis result of the influence of brand ambassador and brand image, the significance is less than 0.05, and the regression coefficient has a positive value of 0.584. So the hypothesis, which states that brand ambassador has a positive and significant effect on the brand image of McDonald's Indonesia, is accepted. And then the second result, the influence of brand ambassador on purchase decision, the significance is less than 0.05, and the regression coefficient has a positive value of 0.436. So the hypothesis, which states that brand ambassador have a positive and significant effect on BTS meals purchasing decision, is accepted. And then the third result is the influence of brand image on purchase decision. The significance is less than 0.05, and the regression coefficient has a positive value of 0.252. So the hypothesis, which states that brand image has a positive and significant effect on BTS meal purchasing decision, is accepted. And then the last,
I think your time is up.
Okay.
Do you want to just write up?
Yeah.
Just maybe last sentence or the conclusion?
Okay, for the conclusion, maybe for the conclusion, the one is brand ambassador has a positive and significant effect on the brand ambassador of McDonald's Indonesia. This is evident by significant value. And then the second one is the brand ambassador has a positive and significant impact on BTS meal purchasing decision. And then the third, brand image has a positive and significant impact on BTS meal purchasing decision. And then the last, the brand ambassador doesn't directly influence the BTS meal purchase decisions, but the McDonald's Indonesia brand image can immediate the brand ambassador to influence the BTS meal purchase decision. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry to cut because I think it's already like more than 10 minutes. Okay, I'm just gonna go straight to the discussion. Maybe we can have one or two questions. Is there any question or comments from the audience? Who is the BTS fans in here? You can raise your hands. Or who had, oh, okay, Anindya. Did you get the meals at that time on July 2021?
Unfortunately, I'm not get it.
Oh,
it's only one day, right? Only one day, and then we spent from the police.
Yeah, I know. I think it's all due to the coronavirus, I guess. Then the people need to go home. Okay, do you have any question probably or comment? Anindya? No?
No.
Okay. Okay, so I just want to ask one more for the conclusion on the last point. So when you say like, so the brand ambassador means the BTS does not directly influence people to purchase, but McDonald's, maybe can you elaborate the last option, the last result?
Okay. From my research, it find that the brand ambassador doesn't directly influence the BTS milk purchase decision, but the brand image of McDonald's Indonesia can immediate the brand ambassador to influence the BTS purchase decision. So the most important in this research is in brand image of McDonald's Indonesia, I think. So that can mediate the brand ambassador is BTS to influence the BTS meal purchase decision, because from my result, the positive image owned by McDonald's Indonesia can encourage consumer to buy BTS meal, and using BTS weight group as an ambassador can help to form a stronger emotional relationship between McDonald's Indonesia and their consumers, I think.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Okay, Dr. Pramujo, I think I give the last chance to you to sum up.
Thank you very much. It is interesting. Do you measure the engagement of each of the age class to the BTS? I mean, the knowledge about the BTS. I mean, maybe the younger have no knowledge, or the older have no knowledge about the BTS.
Okay, sorry. What is the question, Mr. Pramujo?
Do you measure the knowledgeable of the audience or the audience to the BTS? I mean,
I use 4 classification education, maybe from here.
I mean, if the S1 audience have knowledge about the BTS, or maybe like the previous.
Yeah. I mean, like, did you check like your respondent knows about BTS or not, or you already like secluded the one that don't know BTS is not your participant?
I think I distribute to all Indonesian people who know BTS or not, but just know the BTS meal news.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So they might be not the fans then.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's very interesting, but unfortunately we already reached the very end of this session in room 6. Thank you very much, Usda, for your presentation, and I hope that it can be, I mean, you can look further, maybe if like BTS in I Am Geprek will be different.
Okay.
That can be like another research question. Okay, so I think we have heard from 7 presenters today from different area, and mostly in the popular culture, and also from economic creative, and also startup business. Is very interesting. And thank you for the participation. Thank you for Dr. Pramujo as well. And maybe before I close the session, I think I have a sponsor message that we need to get a picture together. So maybe I think we still have, there is a Miss Ida Ayu and Ratmi, or like, do you mind to open your camera and maybe put the virtual background like us? Okay, maybe we can wait for another minute if that's okay for them to join. But I think all of the research has a very potential, and I know all of them are still in the early stage, and hopefully from our discussion can give a richer perspective for the future research, and good luck. Okay, Pak Andana, Mas Andana, what we're gonna do? I think Bu Ida and Ratni not showing the face.
Oke, kalau gitu langsung di saya screenshot aja ya.
Oke.
Jadi 2 kali ya.
Oke.
Belum.
Belum.
Ada. 1, 2, 3. Terus sekali lagi bentar. 1, 2, 3. Dah. Oke,
Well, I
udah.
just realized that Mr. Muhammad also blank, but okay, I think we can see the name. Okay, I just want to make sure that you already fill the registration link. I think that's to get the certificate, I guess, Pak, yeah, Pak Pramujo, with the registration link.
Make sure you are already filled the link.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, and hopefully to see you in the main hall. And just wait, maybe you win the best oral presenter, who knows? And let's cross the finger and have a nice break. Thank you, Dr. Pramujo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pramujo. Bye.
Bye. Andana, thank you ya. Saya leave meeting room.